Hi guys, I'm going to do a get ready with me chit chat. So I've already applied my eye cream and my face cream. So this is my skincare treatment. And now I'm starting with my base because I've let it sit in a little bit. So it's ready to go. And the base that I'm using is this Perfection Lumiere Velvet color 22, and I am putting it on with my It Cosmetics Velvet Luxe 311 brush. And I always start on the top of my cheeks. See how that I've got an age spot? Always cover it first. And this is a light coverage, or I would say it's a medium coverage. I always do one swoop under the eyes, but no more. You don't want to put a lot of product under your eyes as you get older because it just sets in the wrinkles. And even when you buff it out, it still does. So I just try not to put too much product there. And again, I'm going kind of over where my age spots are first, because then I can reapply as needed to kind of build the coverage a little bit. And I make sure that I go over everywhere, and then I start buffing it out. I go kind of light on the forehead because, and here, remember you always get rid of your line to your neck by just kind of dropping your jaw and going over it. And then go down your neck a little to make sure that you've blended it out. And I'm done. Okay, now I'm going to do my contouring. And I'm using the Benefit Dallas. You know, I actually just did a face-off tag that I made up that was to do half your face of makeup. And I don't know that isn't the exact same thing as what I'm doing now, only it was half. So if you're not interested in Get Ready with me, you don't need to stay. But I find them fun just to watch people get ready and see what tips I can learn from them. So you can see I'm doing my bronzer also on my temples, the top of my forehead, and just kind of blending out. And then also I go under my nose because I have a large nose. And under my chin, because I have kind of a prominent chin. And then just kind of cutting in a little under here, not too much. You don't want too much, just a shadow. And if you're older and your jowls have dropped, or whatever this is called, a little, just anything that you put something dark on gets recessed. Anything you put something light on comes forward. So, for instance, I have a larger nose. Most people would put the white right down the middle and contour on either side. I just put the dark on the bridge because what's larger is my nose ball, or whatever you call it, the end of your nose. So that's where I put it. Okay, then I am doing some other things here. I'm getting my brush for blush. Actually, I'm not going to do that blush. That's my sunburn blush, and today I'm going to just do my L'Oreal. I keep saying L'Oreal when I mean Chanel. I wish I could find dupes of Chanel and L'Oreal. And this is my Rose Bronze number 2 Chanel blush, and I'm going to just go on my cheeks and up. Cheeks and up. Just kind of blends some pink into that brown, so it actually looks like you're blushing. And sometimes I will go up into my brow just a hint. And on the crown, like I told you, the crown, the center of my nose. Again, most makeup artists would not tell you that, but I have found that makes my nose look smaller than running a highlighter down the center of my nose and putting bronzer or contour on either side of it. It almost seems like when I do that, it makes it look bigger, because that is the part of my nose that is big. Okay, and now put my towel isn't going to fall off, I'm going to use this Tissé Mademoiselle palette. And to get ready with, I'm going to start with the lightest color and put it on my brow bone. Both brow bones. And this is a small contour brush. You've seen them before. And it's a Sigma brush, and it's an E70. And I use, see how you've got the short end and the long end? I use the short end up against the brow. And the long end kind of diffuses it out. So that's how I apply it. Most people do it the other way. They do it like that. And I also use the butt end of that, the short end of that, on the inner corner, swirling it outward and then inward to try to, and then come all the way in to the inner lid, because I want to have kind of a white background base for my eyelashes, and then also come in a little. So it just, when you do that, you can see, look at the difference in the two eyes. It wakes the eye up on the inside, especially if you have blue veining, or you know, you can cover that up with your eye primer. I just realized I forgot my eye primer, but that's okay. You don't have to have eye primer. It just tends to make your eyeshadow last longer, is what eye primer really does. This actually lasts pretty good. Okay, I'm using a large fluffy brush. This is a Sigma, I think it's an E50. Yeah, E50. And I'm using the next darker shade, this color right here, as my transition shade. Putting it down on the outer first, coming up almost to the brow. I'm just kind of filling that area in between the brow and the lid, because I'm going to put a darker color in the crease, and this is just a backdrop, so that when I do that, it blends better. It looks, as we would call this, transition color, more transitioned. Okay, and then I'm going to use a short shader brush. I'm sorry, small tapered blending. Where's my brain? This is a E45 by Sigma. I'm using this darker color down here. Tapping it off, and I'm going to start in the outer corner. That's where you put down the most of your color. And go in windshield wiper motions, which kind of diffuses it. And then I'm going to kind of roll the brush to get everything off here on the outer corner. And don't worry, at this point right now it looks kind of unblended, because it is. I mean, you're doing a little blending by your windshield wiper motion. Don't come too far out of the socket of the crease, because we'll blend it in just a minute. And then again, the outer lid. Yeah, I know it's dark, but we're going to fix it. Then I'm using that same dark shadow with the short shader E20. A little shader. And I'm using that as a liner. Some people use a smudger. I just use a short shader with a dark color. And it looks like you've taken a liner and smudged it. And then I use what's left over right at the lash line, about halfway in, just to give a little bit of a darkening effect underneath my eyes. I'm sorry, behind my lashes. Can you tell I haven't had my coffee? Again, I'm going to do this, just whatever's left on your brush, about halfway in, just right along the lash line, and that just, it gives a little background for the lashes. And then if you want to, you can take, every palette almost has some sort of a shimmer shade that if you want to, and I always use my finger for this, you can put it right in the center. And see how it kind of wakes up that center? You just blend it in a little on either side, but try to stay to the center. And it just gives a little bit of shimmer. Now, this is a peachier color, and we had on a white, so it almost subdues the white a little bit. By the way, the cool thing about still having your towel on is you can just wipe your fingers off on it when you're through with everything. Okay, so now I need to have a blender. And this is a tapered blending brush, E35. And today is Saturday, and so I'm going to be spot cleaning my brushes with MAC brush cleanser. And again, I'm just blending this top line. You don't want to blend all the colors or you'll just get like a real muddiness and lose the beauty of the color. Okay, that's enough. Now I'm going to add my brow. And my favorite is to use Almay Intense Eye Color. It's an eyeliner in Raisin Quartz, or another color that I like is, I forgot the name of it, but more taupey colors than using brown or black. And I just reinforce the bottom of the brow first so that you have that good line. And then I do a few wispies because for some reason I got a little spot right there that I'm losing some hairs. It happens. Usually they grow back. I don't know if I get older, if they just will never grow back. I don't know. Anyway, and then I go up to my highest point. Some people tell you go ahead and put the point like that. And then it gives your eye something to come up to. And then just try to make it go back down as natural as you can. You know, you change your makeup every single day. So if you don't get it perfect every single day, unless it's I don't know, some special occasion, who cares? I mean, it'll be just a little different today. Okay, now see how that looks rather harsh? That's why it's very important afterward that you use a spoolie brush. Any spoolie brush will do, and I brush up. And what that does is it breaks the plateau of the line. Kind of muddies the line, if you will, and so it doesn't look so harsh. And always brushing up. Some people do down like that. If you have a whole lot of brow and you're using a brow fix, look how that just softened that out. Then yeah, I guess you could. But my mom always taught me, you brush up, and I brush up. And it does seem to blur the lines better, to brush upward than over. And if you're thinking, yeah, but then your brows will be stuck up, the natural expressions that you do will cause your brows to get in place however they want to be. Or should I say, however it's natural for them to be. And those are reasonably similar. Make sure on this back end I don't have anything not filled in. Looks good enough. That's what I meant about good enough. If it's a perfect occasion, that might be a little bit different mentality. And again now, see the little brush marks I made? I'm going to even blend those out. Look how just doing that just softened that look, because you're breaking that line again. Actually, I have a couple of wild ones. I don't have my tweezers, or I mean not tweezers, my trimming scissors, so I'm not going to be able to trim that up right now, but I will later. And so you have a nice brow. And now I'm going to line my waterline, and that is with the infamous, or is that the right word? The famous It Cosmetics No Tug Waterproof Gel Eyeliner, and I love this stuff. Just one, let me just show you, just one swoop. I don't really have to pull down like this, and I'm barely pulling. You don't want to tug too hard or pull too hard. And I really went over a few times, and I don't need to. That's a bit much, but you know. And also when you blink, it, you know, some people tight line on the upper lid. When you blink, it does a lot of that for you. So now again, I forgot my eyelash curler, so I'm just going to use my finger to hold this back, both of them actually. And that, you just want to bend your lashes backward. And I hold it back for a good bit. Let me do that, and while those are kind of sitting there, I'm going to put my lips on. This is my Chanel, I think it's just called a lipstick, but it just stays on for hours. So get it right when you first put it on. There we go. And then you're going to put the other end, which is gloss, on top of that. And you know what? I think I am going to go get my eyelash curler. So after that, I will be putting on my Chanel Inimitable Mascara, and I'll be done. So I hope that you've enjoyed this makeup tutorial, and I'll see you again soon.